What happens if Amber Heard lied under oath? If you clicked on this video, then I assume you're already pretty familiar with what's going on right now in the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard defamation trial. If you clicked on this video though and you have no idea who either of those people are, and now you're trapped in this weird place where you aren't sure whether to click off or listen and try to figure out who these people are, then let me make it easy for you. Johnny Depp is obviously one of the biggest movie stars of our generation and has been in some incredible blockbusters such as Pirates of the Caribbean or Edward Scissorhands, and is often regarded as one of the better actors of the last few decades. Amber Heard, as described by Google, is an American actress and activist. She is known for her roles in the films Never Back Down, Drive Angry, The Rum Diary, and in playing Mira in Aquaman in its upcoming 2023 sequel in the DC Extended Universe. She's a spokesperson for L'Oreal Paris and a human rights activist. So these are our characters, and they are going head to head in a defamation trial right now. But your next and very fair question is, why are they doing that? Well, they're doing that because the pair were married for a time, and based on the reports from both sides, it didn't go very well. The pair got married back in 2015 and were basically only together for a bit over a year before filing for a divorce and separating. In that time, things were reportedly very toxic between the couple. During the process of filing for a divorce, Amber Heard also tried to get a restraining order on Johnny Depp because she was afraid of him. Apparently, he had been abusive to her in their relationship and she didn't feel safe. In fact, we can quote what she said during the filing of that restraining order. She wrote, "During the entirety of our relationship, Johnny has been verbally and physically abusive to me. I endured excessive emotional, verbal, and physical abuse from Johnny, which has included angry, hostile, humiliating, and threatening assaults to me whenever I questioned his authority or disagreed with him. I live in fear that Johnny will return to our house unannounced to terrorize me physically and emotionally." This is obviously some pretty serious stuff that's getting thrown around here and wasn't great for Johnny Depp's image. Work opportunities started to become fewer and further between for the actor, and public opinion of him definitely dipped. His career was going to take another turn for the worse though, because in late 2018, Amber Heard published an op-ed article called "I Spoke Up Against Sexual Violence and Faced Our Culture's Wrath. That has to change." Now, in this article, she doesn't go on to name Johnny Depp personally. She does, however, go into detail on some pretty horrible things that happened to her while she's in the relationship she's describing. It's also pretty clear to the reader that even though Depp's name doesn't get tossed in there, it's him that she's talking about. So that's sort of the background on what's been going on right now. Depp's career took a nosedive after that article, and he is suing Amber Heard for defaming him. Then she's countersuing him for like $100 million, and it's all just kind of nuts right now. This case is really a tough one for the judge and jurors though. This case, at the root of it all, is a classic he said, she said story. Who do we ultimately trust? Amber Heard or Johnny Depp? That's what it boils down to. Trust. And ultimately, that's what this question boils down to as well. Basically looking at what would happen if what Amber Heard has come out and said under oath is a lie. Now, we're going to break this down and go down the theoretical rabbit hole, but before we do, I just want to make it very clear that this is all theoretical. At this channel, we certainly don't claim to know more about this case than anybody else. We have no insider information and certainly don't want to lead any of you to think that we do. Because we have no insider information and effectively don't know anything about anything, we also don't want to pass any judgments over people as well. The court's job is to decide what is true and not true and then pass a judgment. Our job, though, is to answer weird and ridiculous questions for your enjoyment. So, let's do it. Well, first off, if Amber Heard lied under oath, then that is very illegal. This crime is known as perjury, and it is actually very serious. FindLaw writes, To perjure yourself is to knowingly make misleading or false statements under oath, or to sign a legal document you know to be false or misleading. This crime is taken very seriously because the foundation of the legal system depends on trust and credibility. After all, just one sworn statement has the power to tip the scales of justice and dramatically alter someone's life. Perjury is considered a crime against justice since lying under oath compromises the authority of courts, grand juries, governing bodies, and public officials. Other crimes against justice include criminal contempt of court, probation violation, and tampering with evidence. So that's the crime of perjury. But what type of punishment does it hold if you're found guilty of doing it? Well, Find Law goes on to say, state and federal penalties for perjury include fines and/or prison terms upon conviction. Federal law, for example, states that anybody found guilty of the crime will be fined or imprisoned for up to 5 years. Most state laws have similar provisions, but judges typically have discretion to use leniency where appropriate. And if you're convicted, you may even lose your livelihood. If you work in a profession where truthfulness is valued, such as the legal profession, law enforcement, and some public service jobs, you could lose your professional license. So there isn't a one-size-fits-all punishment, but it can be very serious. And if Amber Heard is proven to have lied under oath, then she could end up facing these charges. She would also most likely lose her case against Johnny Depp as well. Now this all depends on what she lied about, but if proof comes out against her that she perjured herself during this case, then one has to imagine that all credibility is gone. I can't possibly see anyone siding with her after that, even if it was just a tiny fib that didn't really impact the outcome of the case at all. And the outcome of the case is important here as well. When do we find out that she lied in this made-up world? Is it today? Is it a year from today? Is it a decade from now? Will the case already be decided by the time this info comes out? Because that would drastically change everything. Let's say she goes on to win this suit, but then 2 years from now it comes out that she lied under oath. Would Johnny Depp sue her again and then win that case? We enter into a pretty bad gray area where I don't think anyone wants to go. If Amber Heard is lying under oath, then I feel really bad for Johnny Depp. If she's lying about the abuse, then that really isn't cool. Now, once again, we don't know anything about anything. Maybe she is telling the truth. Maybe she isn't. This is why this case is so difficult to figure out. I'll be honest though, guys. Kinda hoping she's telling the truth about the whole poo story. The way she tells it, the dog pooed in the bed and it wasn't her. For the sake of everything that is holy, I'm kinda really hoping that it was in fact the dog and not her, cause I don't know, I think pooing in the bed is where I draw the line. But please let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this question. Do you think that she's telling the truth, or do you think that she's lying? And why do you think what you think? I would love to know. Also, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Nicholas Playlog, and I'll catch you next time.